son. Okay, so listen. You're obviously listening to Bitch I Ain't Scared. So we were supposed to put something out. We didn't. My computer ate it. And that's all I got for you. We're here to make up for it. Rob, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Look, this happens. Brush it off. We're here giving you a little mini special of Bitch I Ain't Scared. Just because we love talking to you guys.
Yeah, and we love the sound of our own voices.
Yeah,
also.
I think that's basically it. But yeah, no, we had this, episode for July 4th, and we did talk about a lot of stuff. But I think with this one, we're going to keep it pretty simple, straight to the point, and just kind of make up for, our lack of our holiday episode.
I also think that my computer was just pissed that, we didn't recognize Juneteenth at all in June. And it was like, July 4th is really just a bullshit holiday, so let's not even do it, guys.
Yeah.
Did you do anything fun for the 4th?
You know what I did?
What?
I mean, it wasn't sort of holiday related. I just hung out with a friend. We watched Grindhouse. Not both parts. We just did Death Proof.
Okay.
Yeah, a friend of mine hadn't seen it, and so I was like, okay, we'll watch some Death Proof. And then we kind of got a little bit of the view of some fireworks, but not a good show or whatever. It was kind of just a day to just hang out, honestly. I mean, it was really hot that day here in LA, and it was cool to just hang out. So nothing too big. What about you?
Cool. So I'm super basic when it comes to the 4th. I don't give a shit about the holiday anymore. I'm not a kid. It's not a family holiday for me anymore. My family's so spread out.
It's kind of lost its,
Yeah. There's no picnic. I'm not going to get together with people. But I went to Grand Park downtown L.A. With my boyfriend, and we watched the fireworks show. And we were really close because they did it at Amundsen Theater Square. Mm-hmm. So it was huge. I've never been that close to a fireworks display before. I'm lucky. I did get a little bit of ash in my eyes.
FD3. Okay.
It was rough. But it was beautiful. It was cool. And that was really all I wanted. I was like, okay, well, got some fireworks. That's all I wanted. The meaning of the holidays, doesn't matter to me. So, anyway. I feel like I was going to tell you something else, but I don't remember.
Oh, well, did I tell you I got hit with a firework before?
What?
Yes. I was a little child.
Oh, my God.
And it was a bumblebee. Do you remember those?
No.
Okay, so with a bumblebee, it's pretty small, but what happens is when you light it up and it ignites, it sort of does this twirl, and it looks like there are wings that are flapping, but it goes in this sort of circular motion and super fast, and it kind of buzzes. So I was on the corner of our street. The whole block got together. We do this every year, and it went off. I was in a very far distance from the firework.
Yeah.
And it just shot up, did a little twist, and hit me straight in the head.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Now, because of how small it was, and obviously by the time it made it to me, if I remember correctly, it kind of lost its thunder.
Right.
So it didn't hit me that hard, but I did get a scar. Well, I mean, not a scar, but I mean, it did kind of, break a little bit of skin, and it had to heal or whatever, but I survived a firework attack. That was one of those, you're special, Rob.
Wow. I mean, the worst thing I did on 4th was step on some sparklers. Somebody, I don't remember how they ended up in the dark grass, but this is why I don't like to be barefoot in the grass, kids. Stupid. And I was like, sure, I'll be barefoot. And I walked on some sparklers. That hurt.
Yeah.
But getting hit by a firework,
it's one thing I carry
scary.
with me. Yeah, I was chosen. But, yeah.
He's chosen. But we have a special guest with us today.
Yes, I'm so excited for our guest today.
She's a little shy, though. She's not going to be speaking, but she's here with us. Barb.
We have
Stranger Things.
Barb here from Stranger Things.
We love Barb.
Yeah. As soon as I heard about her Emmy nomination,
whoop,
Congratulations.
That's just so amazing.
We had to get her for this show. So,
Yeah.
Barb, welcome.
Welcome.
How do you feel about your Emmy nod?
It's okay, Barb. No pressure. You don't have to. We're just happy to have you.
No, okay. So, yeah, I read the Emmy nominations the other day, and I'm very happy for her. I mean, I think she's
It's
a wonderful
been
actress.
an amazing ride because it's a small role.
Yeah.
But
You just okay, so were you sort of adapted to the craze that just happened when all of a sudden the internet just was like, we love Barb. Where is she? Why,
I was pretty much in line with it from the jump. So I didn't watch the show right away. I was like, no, resist. I'm not going to get into some hype. God, that looks good. And we were like, fine, let's watch it. And we all immediately just fell in love with Barb as soon as we saw her. And it was just so devastating. I mean, we miss Barb. I just really, really hope they bring her back in some capacity in season 2. If she's some sort of evil Barb clone, I'm here for that. But, either way, I love her. And so we don't really have Barb here, obviously. She wouldn't just be sitting here chilling. So I got my roommate Brandy a pop figure, which she doesn't give a shit about these, and neither do I. But when she opened it, she just screamed with joy because she loves Barb. And the fact that, they have 9 figures, and they chose to make Barb, that says something.
That does say something.
They didn't make Sheriff Hop. They didn't make any of the other teenagers, because who really cares about them? I mean, I care about them, but it's like, come on. And they, went to the trouble of making 2 11s. They could have made a Sheriff Hop, but I see where their allegiance lies. But yeah, they made a Barb. So it's ridiculous how popular she is, but I get it.
Barb is blowing up, so she's currently on Riverdale right now. She's not a regular, but she has been popping up in some episodes. That town has tons of redheads that just migrate to that town.
That's a theme of the show.
It's not a theme, but
it's
two
just
families are,
it's just a coincidence.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence, and then I was just joking, but yeah. So she's
because I heard that though.
There's a lot of characters who are redhead, but yeah. So she's on there, and then she just did Wish Upon that came out over the weekend.
It's really the only reason I'm interested in seeing that now at this point.
Yeah. So here's the thing about Barb. And this is not to take away her acting skills or whatnot. And maybe there's just something that I have not seen that everybody else is. This internet is going insane for her. And it's well-deserved, well-earned. My thing is that I fell in love with Barb maybe for a different reason that everybody else did. Because when she did end up, going into the Upside Down and, dying, I was devastated because I did love her character. Yeah. But I think it was because she embodied what 80s is. Everything that you can think of was literally in her hair, her glasses, her voice, her persona, everything. Her just being a best friend to her. And just the steps that that she was doing in being a friend for her. But it was mostly the looks. It was just I love that she got nominated, but can we get a nod to the people who made her look the way she did? Because that look was spot on 80s. I have never seen anything so lifelike, and I was transported way back into the 80s just for her alone.
Yeah.
Anytime she was on screen, I was just so impressed. So again, I'm not saying she doesn't deserve the Emmy, but it's just Can we get some acknowledgement for the way they put her? She just looked really good.
She did.
That's kind of my only thing is that, her character was great, but I don't think I latched onto her the way other people did. I just loved her look, and I just hated that somebody like her went away so quickly.
Rob, you're a terrible person. Barb is everything.
I still love you.
Barb's do it better.
Shannon Purser, if you are listening right now, congratulations. You deserve it. And, if you don't win, it is just as good as being nominated and joining the club and just attending.
Amazing.
It's really good. And again, you deserve it. You really deserve it. You're an awesome person. And I actually did like you in Wish Upon as well. Your character was great too. So good. Keep up.
I also heard that she was, I think she said she did a statement that she's bisexual.
I did not hear that.
She's on our team.
She is on our team.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I have to do more research. Maybe she'd be like, "What? Don't be putting my business out there." But yeah, that's what I heard. So either way, we love you, and I'm just so excited for
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
things.
Of course.
So happy news aside, we have lost a member of the family, George A. Romero. Which I'm not going to say I'm some sort of aficionado and I know everything about his movies. I don't. But he's, he's a big deal. He's the reason that we have a zombie genre. Let's face it.
Yeah.
For what it is now, I mean, and he basically dominates it. He's part of it through and through. He was a producer on The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So from start to finish, George A. Romero is the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. And we're in this phase right now in horror where things are starting to turn a little bit on the serious side with social commentary and just pointing out things that's happening in our world at this time by using horror as a theme. That was him. Like his zombie movies, that's exactly what he was doing with every single one that he came out. There was a reason behind the gore and the dead waking up and all of that, and it showed human nature and survival and animal instincts, things that really you had no idea that you were privy of until you're put into these scary situations. This isn't the first time that we have brought up George A. Romero on the show, or even his zombie movies, but just to repeat, like some of the commentaries that he would choose to do were predominant for the times that it came out, and it was something that needed to be heard. And even in a movie of horror, he had a vision and a way of filming that did not let you forget that this is more than just a zombie movie. It wasn't just a gore fest, and I think people who really paid attention to those movies got a lot out of it aside from just watching a scary movie, and I think that's great skill. And being a fan of horror, I really respect him and the work that he did. I'm not to say that there are many people who sell out, quote unquote, sell out. He kept it real with his vision, and I think he's one of those people that you can watch a movie and be like, that's Romero. He had his signature, and we'll miss him.
Yeah. I mean, he was ahead of his time, I feel, with just the underlying themes of zombie movies. Because you just think, it's a zombie, they're going to eat people. But he always had something sort of underlying tone. With the first one right out the gate, that was a big move. And he sort of downplayed it, casting Dwayne Jones as the lead. He's like, I just cast the best actor, which, yeah, he's a great actor. But I just don't know if I believe, I'm calling you out from beyond the grave, sir, that he cast a black man without really thinking, it's 1968 and I'm casting a black man. Oh, whatever. I feel like there was a lot to say, putting him in the forefront of all that madness, and then to end the movie the way you do, where he actually survives, but wait, these rednecks come and shoot him. Did they even think he was a zombie? No, probably not. So that was a lot of commentary right there. That said so much right there.
Yeah.
And I really feel like he knew what he was doing, but he was just sort of like, watch the movie and decide for yourself. I feel like he was good at that. And that's not something that you get from every director, especially in horror. So he will be missed.
Yes, he will be missed. I heard he passed away very peacefully with his family, and there was no pain. I mean, he was suffering from I guess, was it lung cancer that I think I read about. But I heard he dies peacefully, and that's the only thing that we can wish upon anyone who passes away, is that they die and do what they think is right for them as far as passing away, and that they had a fulfilled life up till that point. So
I feel like he did.
Yeah.
He was 77 years old. It's a pretty good lifespan. So thank you, Mr. Romero,
Yes, thank
for
you.
changing the genre. Appreciate it.
Exactly.
Well, enough sadness. Let's get back into Nathaniel's basic, and he lets his computer eat things.
Yeah, so just I guess a snippet of what we attempted to do before. We just want to talk a little bit about sort of July 4th, Independence
Yeah,
Day.
and it's
in a
not even
way.
like July 4th anymore. It's
Yeah,
just like
just summer movies.
the government
are
is
just-
corrupt.
Well, I mean, just sort of the not necessarily the backstory of Independence Day, but just what brings out your patriotic side when this holiday comes around. Because for those of you who don't know, it's not a drinking holiday and it's not a fireworks holiday either. There's actually some heavy meaning to it, and some people may not feel that this is the time to really be celebrating Independence Day, to be honest. But not to get more into that. Our subject is on horror movies. We will keep it on that. And
Fine.
and there are some horror movies that are either geared towards the holiday or takes place around that. And a big one that comes up obviously is Jaws.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that
Jaws
was
is-
probably the original.
Yeah.
Yes. I like Jaws. I still appreciate it. Obviously, yes, it's dated. We can tell that it's a robot. It's animatronic. But, I mean, damn. For that time, they did a good job. And it's based on a book. Gotta give it, back to the roots. I like it. It scared me. Shit.
I watched it, and but I was a late bloomer with it. I didn't watch it when I was a kid or anything, and so obviously it did look dated. But I don't care about that stuff. I just wanted to kind of see how the tension was built up and why these people kept returning to this. Like I'm not even gonna go there. But my thing is with a shark movie is especially with Jaws. It's like, why are we still doing it? All I gotta hear is a rumor, and I'm going to the beach on the other end of the country, not necessarily on the other end of town. I'm sorry, I don't even want the rumor. That's like leaving a bag next to a bench. You tell me there's a shark in there, I'm never touching it at all until you comb that whole thing.
They had that one character who wanted to, rake in the cash. So he's like, no, everything's fine. You better tell everyone everything's fine. So, I mean, we can blame him. The mayor, he sucks.
I'm not a businessman, in these towns who lean on holiday events to pay for their town. Like, I think you got to come up with a different business plan if you're willing to endanger people's lives. But Jaws was cool for what it was. It's not a movie that I kind of go back and replay around July 4th, but I know it's a lot of people's
I
favorites.
don't replay it. I probably don't even watch it during the summer because then, I won't even get in the pool.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. But I appreciated it. It was one of the, sort of like Alien. It's one of those big originals where you've never seen it before, but it very subtly shows us the shark.
Yeah.
I mean, that opening scene, we don't see a shark fin. Not once. But that's scary as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Just being whacked back and forth,
Yeah,
and then
it's the
she's
idea.
gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
so I mean, it's very scary. It's like what you don't see is scary. And then when you do see the shark, I mean, it's still scary enough. He's big. He eats people. But that scene where he swims into like the lake area, and the sheriff's kids are in there, and the guy's like trying to help them out of the water, and you see the shark kind of come up. You see just enough of the shark, and then he pulls the guy down. That scared the hell out of me. Scared me so bad. What's another one?
So I usually think of I Know What You Did Last Summer
Yeah.
when July 4th comes around. I mean, it was kind of took place around that same weekend, and they mentioned July 4th a lot. There's a parade and everything. We won't go into it because we've talked about it, but I mean that's a movie.
I mean,
that
we'll talk
usually,
about it again, I'm sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a movie I usually kind of think about around that time.
Fun fact, I thought that my school's anthem was in the movie,
Yeah,
but it's not. I mean, my school's anthem is just based on the same tune. I don't know what the original song is, but it's because the marching band in the parade is
Yeah.
playing, and I was like, it's Paul Harding High School, guys. My school doesn't exist anymore. It was closed. Yeah,
Well, there's a lot of themed July 4th movies out there, but in the horror genre, you don't really see too much.
No,
I
and
think if you dig deep, there are some kind of underground,
and it's
maybe
not
part
like
of anthology or
this
something.
was
But
set on 4th of July
Yeah.
because there's lore about the 4th of July. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know. They chose this holiday so that there would be the big celebration, so that he can kill people and nobody notices. Which I mean, it kind of works.
yeah.
Or people are just really dumb.
So okay, good thing you brought that up. So I mean, yeah, the movie Uncle Sam. Yeah. So I ended up seeing this movie. This movie is wackadoodle crazy. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, there was a guy dressed up in a Uncle Sam outfit, and that was his way of getting through the town without being noticed too much. But it was also because he was sort of a zombie. He rose from the dead, but his body was burnt to a crisp because he died from like a helicopter crash, and he would just go around killing people who weren't patriotic enough. So anytime he would see somebody disrespecting the American flag or veterans or anything like that, he'd take you out. The only thing that I thought was really entertaining in this was Isaac Hayes was in it. And he even had like a bunch of scenes with the kids in the movie, so it just reminded me so much of Chef, if just him just solving mysteries and stuff with the South Park kids like he did on the
God.
show. But yeah, he played this veteran who kept getting flashbacks about his glory days, and he had a personal thing with the guy who was killing people. But yeah, he was sort of our hero of the movie. So, yeah, I got through the movie, but I will never watch that again. It was clearly made just to have somebody kill in an Uncle Sam outfit. That's pretty much what it was.
Well, I'm sure a lot of the voters today would enjoy that movie. Sounds like them.
But, yeah, I mean, based on the subject of our show episode today, American Horror Story.
Right.
Yeah, the theme for season 7 is going to be the election that we just had, but they're going to implement a lot of supernatural stuff to it.
Yeah, they've been releasing some other possible art for these demons or weird figures, but we don't know if they're actually going to use them or not. But that's the concept art, so it looks weird and creepy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm wondering how they're going to incorporate a supernatural thing to it. The only thing that I can think of that's a little terrifying, I guess, is just sort of like that Manchurian Candidate sort of scenario where you've got somebody literally programmed or forced to, preach out the word of somebody else. Like, I'm sure a little bit of that will be brought into it. Maybe. I
mean, they usually have like 5 or 6 storylines, just
Yeah.
like always going.
Yeah.
I saw Evan Peters has blue hair. So
Yes, I know. I saw that.
I'm really excited about Adina Porter.
Mm-hmm.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's a very what's the word? I don't know. I just feel like we don't see enough of her. And she's been in the game for a long time. She always plays these smaller roles. She was in like the first season of Prison Break for a few episodes. And they always have her playing these characters that it's like she has the roughest life. But I've actually seen her in person. And she's very beautiful, and she's very nice, very friendly woman.
I was really happy with her character in Roanoke.
I haven't seen that yet, but I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure.
I won't say anything. She, like you say that she, especially from the first season where she played one of the.
Oh, right.
My God, I just
that
was
poor
like,
woman.
wow, this poor woman.
So sad.
But this is kind of her season in Roanoke. So
I read something like she's a much bigger character. So
yeah,
that's good.
But yeah, she's always getting these like. Damn, her life just she can't just win. So I'm glad that she's in it. I had no idea she was going to be a part of it, but she did a
just
very
announced.
good job. So I'm not surprised.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So another thing that we could bring up is sort of like the Purge franchise that's out right now. That's gotten a little patriotic now as it comes to the third, and I'm sure there will definitely be a fourth. But
Really?
I mean. Well, no. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. They're coming out with a series.
A television series?
Yeah, a
On
television
what
series.
channel?
This is going to be Sci-Fi or Spike, but I want to say it's Sci-Fi. Here's the thing with The Purge. They are basically going to feature the 364 days surrounding The Purge. So it's just sort of a lead up as to how and why and what happens during these days that we're supposed to be good and the crime is supposed to drop.
Okay.
And everything just sort of building up or maybe leading up to that purge and why people do it is what they do. And we can sort of see the backstory of why the government is so behind this and sort of the real reason why the purge was even made to begin with. And, there's obviously a lot of theories that they point out in the movies. This is to thin out the herd of the poor and just
Right.
have them kill each other so there's just more room and money for the rich.
Which, so I haven't seen any of these movies, guys, but now I'm curious to see them, and I'm curious because of that reason. It very much reflects our reality.
It
I
definitely
think,
reflects,
because
especially the third one. The third
trying
one
to get
is,
rid of, a certain group of society or different groups of society. They do that shit now.
Yeah.
And, just the way that things are made available to us as far as resources, food, liquor stores on every corner in certain areas. It's like they treat you that way. I mean, the purge, it's a violent sort of fantastical idea. No, they're not allowing us to murder each other in the streets, or are they? Sorry, Rob, I'll try to stay on topic. But yes, that interests me because that is some heavy metaphor, not even a metaphor, it's just heavy commentary on how we are.
I think you would really find this interesting, Nate, to watch these movies. So the first one it takes place in the rich town.
Right.
It's just this home invasion. It's very small and compact. But the thing is that when you watch that versus the second one, in that first movie, that house is locked up. They have a security system that only has an alarm, but like metal doors and things covering up the whole house, like you can't get out.
Right.
And this is what the rich can afford. Yeah,
Right.
they're going to agree to a stupid rule like this because
They can protect themselves.
they have the means to protect themselves.
And that's exactly how it is.
And it's so obviously they find ways to get past that. And, people who think that they are, up on the top of the hierarchy and think that they're protected. No, there are ways that, and it also shows that, the rich people, their shit does stink. They're not, the ones with manners and things like that. It gets pretty crazy. But then when you compare and contrast with the second one, it's all about the poor. It all takes place in the urban cities and people who can protect themselves and who are easy targets, and they just use that to take each other out, and they aren't thinking this is exactly what they want you to do.
We're feeding into what they want.
Yeah, and the third one just kind of rounds it up where this woman is being targeted for an assassination attempt because she wants the purge to end, and if she gets elected as a congresswoman,
That's right, yeah.
then the purge will end. And there are people who do not want that to happen, and so it's all about protecting her and making sure she survives the night before it all takes out. But other than that, they touch on revenge, forgiveness, just letting things go, and just how easy it is to just drive somebody crazy, and how easy it is to kind of like take someone's life just because they do A, B, and C. But all that pent up anger and stuff like it gets pretty crazy. I think you would find it interesting if you watch the series.
No, it definitely sounds interesting. I always harken back to the Saw series, and I still don't care for it. I liked the beginning.
Love them.
I really enjoyed that first one. Was excellent, and then I was like, okay, I'm still here. But then I was like, okay, stop. Please stop. So it's the same thing for The Purge. It's like, all right, this sounds interesting. Stop.
Yeah.
This third one sounds like a good place to leave off. But if they're gonna do a series, I don't know, do what you want.
Yeah.
What makes money? I don't. So I probably will check it out. I'm very into things like that. Social justice horror. Some people don't like it, and some people probably don't even think that The Purge falls into that realm, but I think it does. An honorable mention, because it's not a horror movie, but it scared me as a kid, was Independence Day. And it was just a couple scenes.
No, I get it. I'm not even gonna, because there were some scary scenes in that movie.
I mean, even like that first moment where it's like they look up in the clouds, and it's like, what's going on? It's like, is it on fire? And then the ship like comes through the clouds. It's like, oh. But that scene where you think it's dead, and they're like cutting it open. Oh God, it was just so like, it was so much, because it was like you could hear like the slime inside the biosuit, and then when that bitch popped off the operating table, that was an intense scene. That was really scary.
I think their execution was done very well, because they had all of these doctors surrounding it. It was kind of our first close-up of it after, you know, Will Smith punched it with his bare
and that
hands.
was so quick.
But yeah, we barely kind of got to see it, and so we're up close to this thing, and we thought the punch took him out. So
Right. We thought he crashed, he's punched,
done.
he's done.
And you know, you really wouldn't have him on the operating table unless it was dead. But they took this little bitty scalpel, and because it's so small, the camera had to get really, really close.
Yeah.
And he took just a little bit of cut, just a little cut, and then the whole head just expanded.
Yeah.
And it was loud.
Such a big jump.
And it scared. I remember when I saw it in the movies, it scared everyone.
Yeah.
And I remember saying this before. Like, it really unified the theater. We were all in it together because we all just laughed about it, because it was just so obvious, and we should have known better.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, haha, he got scared. No, it was like, no, this shit is scary, because it scared us all.
Yeah.
And then we just all had a big laugh about it. It was a moment for sure.
Yeah. So, good moment. Good horror moment in a non-horror film.
Yeah.
And it's called Independence Day. That
know, right?
one was absolutely made for July 4th.
Yeah.
Marketing and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it worked.
Yeah, no, I thought it worked.
Yes.
I can't really think of any other ones. I mean, like, there are some that, like, involves, like, the Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that.
I've never seen that, but I mean, I guess that would kind of qualify as a movie to mention today.
I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe on Lincoln's birthday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what we'll do.
I might forget by then. The other one I mentioned before was the segment from Tales from the Hood.
Yes.
With the KKK member who was, I don't know, running for Senate, and he set up shop in the old plantation house that was said to be haunted by all these little dolls, that a voodoo priestess put their souls into the dolls because they were murdered and tortured as slaves. I love that.
That was a really good one. They picked a great actor to do it too. I believed
terrible.
every word he said. He was just a horrible human being.
Terrible.
But what was even horrible was just like his assistant. Like,
that
he knew
guy.
he was wrong, but he still wanted to be on the good, the good side,
Quote.
and quote. And it was really hard to watch him. And it was funny because they had him like light-skinned too, so he was sort of like,
He was passing. He was just doing all sorts of
it
things,
was just
trying
easier
to like
for him
fit
to
in.
just.
So
Yeah, that was horrible. But
that's why he had to fall down the stairs and die.
that was a good story.
It was excellent. I mean, when all those dolls came out, it was very. I mean, it's very clearly like, I don't know, stop motion where you can see the animation, but it's fine. They're still scary. Those dolls are scary as fuck.
I mean, especially, like, didn't the dolls, like, they all had smiles on their faces, too.
They weren't smiling.
They weren't smiling?
No, it's like this very strange look on their faces. They're like, I can't show you, but
I love it.
They just look pissed, which they should be.
Yeah.
And, man, they ate the fuck out of him.
Yeah. You wonder why they waited so long to do that, or did something happen in the story that woke them up?
I think he did. I mean,
yeah,
because it was like warnings. Like they tripped the guy down the stairs, and I was like, "Leave." They gave him opportunities to leave.
Yeah,
they could have killed him as soon as he came in, but nope. They had to take him out.
I'll have to watch that again. I don't even remember how he ended up dying, but
I do.
Yeah,
I think he's like wrapped in an American flag.
Oh, wow.
And they eat him.
I don't remember this at all. Yeah, I'll
it.
definitely have to check this out. Check this out again.
So funny, so funny. Well, I think that's pretty much all there is for like. I can't even think of other patriotic stuff.
Yeah, there. I'd have to look it up. There was another zombie like story that had sort of a patriotic theme. It was part of the 8 horrors of 8 films to die for, that horror fest. They had I don't even know what to begin to look up, but there was a zombie one.
Okay.
That I'm sure when I post this on YouTube, I'll have the picture and everything all post up, so I'll figure it out. But yeah, there was one that was kind of like that, and it was a little patriotic too. Had a couple of gay characters in there too, but they don't really touch much on the whole July 4th patriotic thing. I don't think there was ever even a fireworks themed episode anywhere on TV shows, but I'm sure they'll think of something in the future. Every holiday will get touched and have a theme about it. So, but yeah, there's some good mentions.
So before I do my bitch really, I'll be nice, Rob. But I just want to say, everyone, you need to take inventory of yourselves and find something to appreciate, because we don't all walk the same life. We don't all have the same opportunities and privileges. So appreciate what you have, where you are. It's not about what you want. It's about what you have and what you do with it. I'm not saying sit on your ass and don't do your best and don't go for what you want. But, it's some very tough times that we're living in. So we all need to love each other better. It gets crazier and crazier every day. I don't know why it hasn't stopped in so many accounts, but just try to appreciate life more and take care of each other.
Hear, hear.
So that
Very
we don't
well
fall
said.
apart. So we've talked about I Know What You Did Last Summer. And it's probably the death that pisses me off the most, because I just feel like it could have been avoided. Totally could have been avoided. At the pageant the second time, when Helen's, making her cameo because she has to be there, she's sitting on stage, and Barry thinks it's a good idea to go up to the mezzanine by himself so that he can protect her. I'm not really sure where that logic comes from. Like, you think you're gonna fly down to the stage to save her if some shit pops off? Bitch. I don't know. There's really not any words for this. But I mean, if you've seen the movie, you know he gets fucked up. He gets fucked all the way up. But we don't even really see it either. That's kind of
yeah.
You hear it, but it's like they go up there and it's like, where is he? Where'd he go? It's like, yeah, where did he go? Honestly. And then you got that one little blood drip. Someone just hooked you. I'm sure blood splattered. Whatever. But bitch, really? Why were you up there by yourself thinking that you weren't going to do anything. You weren't going to protect anyone. You couldn't even protect yourself.
Yeah, I actually had to think about this. Usually you would go up to a high tower, so obviously you can see the lay of the land and just try and spot them. But I guess he was supposed to call out to some guard or something. Oh, there he is. Or
No.
Yeah, you're right. How was he going to really fulfill his guarding duties from way up there? If anything, I would have just stood next to her or sat in the front row and been with her the whole time. But I didn't he get blinded by the lights too or something? Wasn't there something with the
No.
lights, or was it? Or maybe I'm thinking of something else. But
No, because the lights were aimed towards her.
Well,
she would have to be like,
I think okay.
And then she saw a fisherman behind him, but yeah, I mean, just really.
Yeah, bitch.
Really,
There really wasn't a way for you to protect anyone.
You weren't
from that
helping
altitude.
anyone.
Yeah.
So such a waste.
It was a waste.
Such a waste. He was hot.
No, that's a good bitch, really. So yeah, people, if you want to protect your friends from a serial killer, best thing to do: stay close.
Yeah.
Don't split up.
Never.
There's just no reason to be anywhere by yourself.
Never.
Buddy system, always buddy system.
God, I just don't. I don't. Whatever. Well, I think that's all I had to say.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to our second attempt at our summer uh, horror edition to July, and we look forward to posting our next episode. And thank you once again for listening. Comment with any stories you have in regards to July 4th or anything, and yeah, love to hear from you guys. And thank you for listening again.
Fingers crossed that my computer doesn't eat it in the next 5 minutes. Catch you next time on Bitch I Ain't Scared.